getting the ball down the field primarily has been through his legs, but he's got 2 passing touchdowns in this ball game. Crooksville, offenses look good despite 3 points. They got the ball down to the 2-yard line and elected to go for a field goal on their only points of the game so far. Been able to run the ball. Cam Potter's looked well so far in this one. And this is a fielded there past the 40, staying on his feet before he's brought down about the 45 mark at 46. That's Kyle Lane on the return.
See if Crooksville sticks to that run with Potter. They like to try to open it up a little bit to open the second half. And if they do decide to open it up a little bit, I'll be curious to see which quarterback Coach Pardon goes with. But it's going to be Brayson Hill, the starter, to come out here to lead the team in the third quarter.
We saw Cottrell on the last drive before halftime. He's got the better arm. He used it last week, connecting on a touchdown pass to Lane.
They got a couple really nice playmakers on the outside, Eli Sprinkle as well as Gage Love. Those 2 guys made a lot of plays a year ago.
And this is Hill keeping it himself. He's going to run to the right, and he is brought down at the 50. If that tackle was not made, he might have been on his way to pay dirt.
I agree, and that looked like Jack Lincecum. It was Jack Lincecum coming up to make that open field tackle. We'll get another look right here, and you're right. If Lincecum's not able to at least slow down his momentum there, a lot of green grass out ahead of Hill.
Ball spotted exactly 49 on the yard line.
So the ball now at the 49. Pretty big play on first down. Got 4 yards.
Since then, second down and 6. That will come from the Philo 49-yard line. Play clock is at 5. No clapping his hands.
High snap taken by Hill. Hill with some room. He got to the 45. So now he's got 2 to go for the first down. 2 similar offenses that we're seeing here. Quarterbacks that like to run, that will occasionally hit you with a pass.
Just the size and physicality of Lincecum. He brings a whole other dimension to the field where he can not only outrun you, he can run over and through you as well.
So now a little formation of their own with a little trickeration. This run to the left for Hill, and he's got a swarm of electrics getting him at the 50. A big loss of 4, and now there's some fisticuffs. Hill right in the middle of it, as there's a little bit of pushing and shoving going around, and flags are thrown.
Have to see who the guilty party is here, because there was a lot of pushing and shoving on both sides. Could be offsetting. We're going to have to wait for the official indication. This is a big call here because this is going to be a 4th and long if these penalties negate themselves.
Coach Lincecum saying that was all Brayson Hill.
The officials over there having a conversation with Coach Pardon.
This is offsetting it. Like you said, this is a big play.
Coach Pardon does not look happy. I think they're giving him some bad news at the moment. I think this is going to be on Crooksville and Crooksville only, the way he's reacting. Still haven't received the official indication, but they're not moving the line of scrimmage, which leads me to believe it's offsetting penalties, but they have to officially announce that.
And if they're offsetting, isn't that a replay down?
It should be, but it actually, no, it was a dead ball after the play, I believe.
You're right, yeah, that was after the play.
Yeah. It didn't happen during the play. It was after the tackle was made.
The official called 2 of the captains together there and said, all right, fellas, let's play nice and shake hands here. That was Camden Stoner and Gavin Mount. And 2 of them shook hands.
So, yeah, it's going to remain 4th and 8 after offsetting penalties.
So it is 4th down on 5. It was against
And now they're going to move it back.
Okay, here we go. So they got Brayson Hill and Brayson Hill only with the personal foul in that scrum.
That's what Coach Lincecum was barking about initially.
corner. Personal foul. Now they're going to have to punt the ball away. They also have a 12th man on the field who is sprinting off the field here. Cottrell will punt here.
So Brody Cottrell punted away to Aiden Mahon.
And whistles before the ball was snapped. No flags.
They have a whistle.
The official walks in from the near sideline and he's making sure that Philo wasn't lined up in the neutral zone. He says they're not, so we're good to go. Snap back to
Cottrell.
Straight back to him, puts a right foot into it. Nice kick, hang time.
And that's up in the air. And it takes a bounce for Philo. And it'll be brought down. And more pushing and shoving. And a flag down. That's between Cole Cash along with Xander Goldsmith. And things are getting out of hand here at Sam
both these
Hatfield
head coaches are going to have a discussion with their teams, as you cannot allow silly personal fouls to affect the outcome of the football game. And if you're Coach Linscomb, I'm sure he's discussing that right now. Do not engage in this type of behavior.
That's what you get in a rivalry game. 86th meeting all time. These schools do not like each other.
They do not. And Crooksville's feeling the frustration of, you mentioned the score didn't indicate how close this game has been played. That's true. That's very accurate. 22-3 is the score, but you got to feel like Crooksville feels like they should be right there in the mix.
So many personal fouls in this ball game. We've seen some face masks, a couple unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Where will they have the football? The punt was down at the 33-yard line. The officials are huddling up there and debating if it's going to be moving to our left or to our right. They don't know.
We've seen all the Zebras collaborating on a bunch of decisions so far in this one, and this again is on Crooksville. So back-to-back plays with personal fouls.
Yeah, the Ceramics players losing their composure a little bit, showing some frustration. Some of the breaks aren't going their way. You got to settle down. You still got 2 quarters of football left to play.
And this is a quick pitch out to Sprinkle. And he is just working his way through traffic, makes a cut past the 45 and a big hit out of bounds. And more jarring as Sprinkle gets up and he is talking with Jace Thompson. He was brought hard. We'll see if we can get another look at this on the Ohio Educational Credit Union replay. Late hit and drove him into the ground. And then you see the two get up and look at each other. A little bit of screaming. A coach pulls Sprinkle out of the way. This is some good old-fashioned rivalry football.
It sure is. Looked like Sprinkle was going to get strung out there, but he just kept moving east and west until he found a little crease and got 7 yards out of the first down play.
Pistol formation here for Lincecum and company. Jack takes the snap. All day to throw. Fires high for Mahon. Juggling catch, and he's got it. Caught at the 20.
Circus catch by Mahon, and he is, looks like cramping up potentially. If they're going to work on that left calf, he is cramping. But he caught that off his own deflection.
Yeah.
Great concentration by Aiden Mahon. Able to corral that football. Big gainer for the Electrics. They're all knocking on the door of the red zone yet again.
So Mahon back up to his feet.
Officials huddling right over the football to 22, and as Jeff said, probably saying, let's not let this game get out of control. Mahon up on his feet, walks off towards the near sideline.
They score here and they get a stop and another score. We could have a running clock, which is crazy to even think about.
How competitive this game has been. Yeah, we are not far off. I didn't realize that.
The Electrics been able to control what they want here in the second half.
Prior to the game, I mentioned, could Crooksville match the size and physicality in the trenches with Philo, and that seems to be wearing them down right now as this game moves along. Just the sheer strength and physicality that Philo has up front is becoming a problem for the Crooksville defense.
Play action pass. They got numbers to the outside. The pass is caught at the 15, brought down about the 11. Hard tackling here in the second half.
Jacob Savage on the reception, just a little flare screen. He gains first down yardage on that play, does Savage.
On the left side, and he picks up 10 yards on the
first and 10 from the 11, so the Electrics can get a first down at the 1 yard line. But it's essentially first and goal.
First down and 10 here for Philo. Leading 22-3 and looking for more here on the 11-yard line of the Ceramics. Ball in the corner.
3 wide to the right for the Electrics. They've been pass heavy on this drive.
On to the right side.
Lincecum will turn and give to Sprankle. Sprankle with a little bit of room as he gets to about the 5.
You know, in the first half, the Crooksville defenders were making contact at or near the line of scrimmage, and now you see Sprankle and Lincecum, they're getting 3-4 yards deep into the defense before being contacted.
First half was really just kind of a slugfest, but Philo's offense is playing really well to start this third quarter.
I think, like I mentioned, I think some blocking schemes were preached, or maybe just getting more aggressive out of their stances in the blocks. Because really that's the only area. The defensive line of the Ceramics was great through about 2 quarters. And here's Lincecum, and like you said, dodge it off defenders, and he's into the end zone. Jack Lincecum finding pay dirt.
Pinballs his way into the end zone for yet another Electric score, and all of a sudden the lead has ballooned to 25 for the Electrics. See Lincecum there, 2 touchdowns passing, runs one in there. Great game for number 19. Was crowned homecoming king prior to the game. What a night for Jack Lincecum.
13th rushing touchdown on the season. Cohen Davis for the PAT. Carpenter.
Cohen Davis, kick is up, and it's good. So 29-3 our score.
And Philo's starting to force the issue and really show what their physicality is up front right now.
It's really been the one adjustment we've seen made, is just finding ways to work on this Crooksville defense that played really strong in the first half.
Yeah, they're really taking it to the Ceramics here to open this third quarter. And only 4 minutes has run off the third quarter clock. We've had a lot of stoppages in play here to begin this second half. Very slow moving. First half flew by.
Yeah.
Now we've come to a crawl here in the third quarter. And for this offensive possession for Crooksville, it's do or die.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they've only punted twice in this ball game, once in the first half. So you'd think 3 points on the board with only 1.5 points. Something just don't add up here.
Philo's really got it working offensively. Now defensively, if they can impose their will on this Ceramic offensive unit, it could really crush their motivation here tonight.
This one going right to the direction of Lane. He fields and hit about the 39-yard line, and that's where we will see the Ceramic offense. I want to remind you, tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fink's Harley Davidson. Live to ride, ride to live. Fink's quality cars and RVs, quick as a wink. Deal with Fink, and Fink's easy leasing and rental.
Well, yeah, but I meant for some reason.
Unfortunately, a couple illegal substitutions. First quarter
I was there after.
So they start with 4 wide. Here is Hill. Hill all day to throw. Loads it up, middle of the field, just out of the reach. Hill takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He wants to chuck. Hill takes the snap. He's looking downfield. He wants to chuck this thing, and he fires right for the first down, going behind the line of scrimmage. But not scrimmage, rather the first down mark, but he was still able enough to get the first down. They say wind it.
Yeah, that was dangerous play. He had first down yardage. We're going to get another look right here, and he retreats 2 yards on his own. And that could have nearly cost him a first down as he went backwards. He never can do that.
So a first down for the Ceramics. I think Coach Marcus Parton wants to just let his quarterback air it out here. I mean, you've seen Cottrell come in and throwing situations occasionally this year. This is an opportunity where you can see what the guy's got. And he's escaping the pocket. Hill, eyes downfield, he'll chuck that one away. That one goes right into off the fence of the bleachers and sends everyone in the front row jumping.
Good business decision by Brayson Hill right there, as a number of electric defenders were closing the distance. And it just gets rid of that football and lives to play another down. 2nd and 10.
I think that's the maturity from the junior quarterback, realizing you just got to throw that ball away. Nothing was there. Sometimes when you got legs like him, you try to be a hero on certain plays. For Lane.
Yeah, I think that'll go down as a drop. He should have certainly caught that ball. He got both hands on it. And it's a little too much mustard on that pass from Brayson Hill. And you can see what the strategy is for Coach Pardon here. Yeah. Air it out and see what happens.
And on the electric side, it's kind of been the same thing defensively. Yeah. Not bringing the house, just trusting their scheme and hoping that it'll work defensively.
Yeah, he's not bringing any extra pressure, is Coach Lincecum. He's kind of relying on his defense to hold up in coverage.
4 seconds to snap it. Hill takes the snap, steps up, eyes downfield, and he walks into a hit. He was drilled in the backfield, flexing his muscles and staring at the sideline. Right there was
Peyton Byers.
Yeah, Peyton Byers. Hard to get a number on that one.
Big play from his linebacker position. Mentioned he came in offensively 2 weeks ago when we were here for Riverview and had a good game running the football. But defense is where he usually shines.
So 3rd down and long, they got to go all 10 here.
You saw Cole Cash come back on the field for the electric defense. He's been a little bit everywhere tonight.
Had an interception on the first passing play of the ball game. Hill gets out of pressure, chucks one towards the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Oh, wow.
Almost a circus catch.
I'll tell you what, for him to put that football in right here, you're going to see how much duress Brayson Hill's under. For him to throw that ball on the move and still be catchable for his receiver.
That's what they call a dot.
Yeah.
Put it right on the money.
Yeah, that's a very tough throw to make downfield. Now we're going to have a 4th down and 10, and Crooksville, no choice but to leave the offense out there.
Ceramics trying to find some hope. All day to throw. No pressure in his face. He now gets some from the right side. He steps up. Eyes still downfield. He will fire, and it is incomplete, or it's intercepted. It was tipped.
Intercepted off the ricochet.
And Jack Lincecum is down on the play. He's writhing in pain on the sideline. As we'll take another look right here. See if we can see it on the all day. Look at this movement out of the pocket.
Peyton Byers in pursuit. Couldn't see what happened to Lincecum. Was he rolled up on? But yeah, you're right. He's in a significant amount of discomfort. He's up now.
Walking his way over to the sideline. And another quarterback is getting loose just in case they need his services. As that is...
it should be Audie Buchanan.
Yeah, Audie Buchanan.
He was impressive in the second half when we were here 2 weeks ago.
He was.
He come in, they didn't miss a beat offensively.
6'2" sophomore, I think they are liking what he could potentially bring to this program.
Yeah, he came in and he just acted like he belonged. He was not afraid of the moment at all.
And we will see Audie Buchanan taking the snap. So Lincecum, a potential developing story now.
Yeah, to say Jack Lincecum's loss would be major, that'd be an understatement. He means an awful lot to this football team, offensively and defensively.
So Buchanan now in the pistol set.
around after first contact in the first half, but
Telling you what, I'm looking for Jack Lincecum on the sideline. I don't see him anywhere. As there he is. He's trying to run out whatever he's got on the sideline down to the far right side. Here's a pitch play. This goes to Sprinkle. Sprinkle with speed and space. He gets past the 50 and out of bounds.
He has a nice burst. He has another gear. You're going to see right here. He sees the hole, and then boom, he's gone.
So Jack Lincecum checking back into the ball game after getting rolled up on or whatever happened in that interception that was on the last defensive drive.
It'll take an awful lot to get him out. I think toughness runs in the Lincecum family. They're just
Drew Lincecum, an all-world wrestler.
these guys just born to play football.
A couple touchdowns, a couple penalty flags, stoppages out there on the field. And
1st and 10. Lincecum. Hands. Sprinkle. Past the 50.
Hard to believe this game was 8-3 with just under a minute remaining before halftime. And things have really changed in the third quarter.
1 touchdown away from a running clock.
It was really that late score in the second quarter I said could really break the momentum of Crooksville, and it seems to have done just that. As if they were able to come up with a defensive stop and go in the locker room 8-3, mentally it may have been a different team to come out in the third quarter.
And they came out with a couple personal fouls as well, so I'm sure that didn't help. As there is Sprinkle. A lot of contact on that play. All on the 48.
Imagine we're seeing the one play. Play clock just now started, so I'm sure.
Number 44, Jacob.
3rd and 5 here. Interesting situation just past midfield. Going to line Mahan and Jacob Savage out as the lone split ends on the wide side of the formation. And it's a single high safety, so it's a dangerous defensive look.
And they go play action, trying to exploit that, and that's a throw and catch to the 40. That's easy. Right
sure
there.
is, yep. Jack Lincecum identified that defense, and that was easy pitch and catch, my friend, just as you mentioned.
Found Mahan wide open. That's enough to move the chains. And into enemy territory. Out to 40 now. I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with how Lincecum's throwing the ball. He missed Mahan for a touchdown in the first quarter. But other than that, I mean, he has put balls on the money and really gave his receivers chances to make plays. He's got 2 passing touchdowns in this ball game. And you got to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah, after this game, the next 3 weeks, the games we discussed, they're going to have to show some balance to beat those teams.
Here comes Sprinkle. Sprinkle's got the first down, and Morey breaks a tackle, and he trots his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Slade Sprinkle.
The 5'8", 165-pound junior, Slade Sprinkle, to pay dirt.
So that will wind the clock.
Been more and more impressed with Slade Sprinkle every time I see him. He has great vision to go with his skill set.
He's quick.
Yes.
Get in open space. You can go ahead.
When something's not there, he's very patient and waiting for his blocks to line up. And then when he sees something he likes, boom, he's gone. He doesn't hesitate. Philo had a running back here, long before your time in the fall of 1995. They were MVL champs that year. His name was Robbie Mack, and Slade Sprinkle reminds me a lot of him. I think Mack was a little bit bigger in stature, but very, very similar in running style.
That play was pretty cool.
So now 36-30 is our score, or 36-3, sorry. So a 33-point lead for the Electrics. I want to remind you tonight's broadcast brought to you by Kokona's Furniture and Mattress First, always making it easier for you to furnish your home. I don't think a single Crooksville fan has found its way to the exits. They're committed to seeing this team through.
Yeah, these two school districts border one another. A lot of the players over the years in this rivalry have been related or friends or know each other off the field. So it brings a different dimension to this rivalry. And I mentioned throughout the 80s and 90s, this was really the premier rivalry of the MVL, and it was very back and forth. Both teams kind of won an equal amount, but Philo has dominated this matchup over the past 2 decades.
Crooksville has not won this matchup since 2015. And, we mentioned off the top of the broadcast that, maybe with a year that has a 5 at the end of it might be the breaker, because Philo's 16-3 in the last 19 meetings in these two teams. But out of the 3 games that Crooksville's won, they won an 0-4. You can disregard that. It was 0-5, 2015. We're here in 2025. It seemed like every decade they had a 5 on it that, you might have a shot at winning the ball game. But
one of those Crooksville wins in there, one of those 3 in the last 19 was a 3-0 win
at
Village Park. It was one of the wildest games you could ever imagine in the pouring rain on a natural grass field.
Grayson Hill feeling pressure, rolls right, tripped up, down at the 35. So cool cash money.
He sure had a whale of a game for tonight as well. Special teams and defensively, he has shined tonight. Interception, nearly a block punt on special teams, and he's been in the backfield causing havoc all night defensively.
5-1 on the season.
This Philo team, they're really deep. They got a lot of great players, wealth of talent.
I mean, even looking at the quarterback position, Buchanan we just saw check into the ball game. Hill, pressure, rolls right, fires, and he's completed to Potter.
Yeah, the third quarter is coming to an end, my friend.
Yeah, the running clock speeds things up here. It was a slow-moving third quarter until they punched that score in to make it 36-3. So that's the score as we head into the fourth quarter. We'll step aside and be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching high school football right here on South 60 Films. Quarter number 4, 36-3 our score. Ted, I was just curious. Do you think, on the Crooksville side, they had an opportunity early in the ball game. The ball was on the 2-yard line where they got the field goal. As Hill loads this one up, looks deep. He's got a man downfield and no flag. It looked like there was a little bit of hand fighting there.
Yeah, that was outstanding defense by Rusty Trout downfield. The receiver had a step on him, but Trout closed the distance, and he did so without interfering with the receiver. And
now they will throw a flag.
Oh, wow.
That late, and Coach Lincecum is not happy.
That's late for a flag to be thrown. They're going to get pass interference on Rusty Trout on the back end of the defense. Looked like pretty good coverage from here. He did not turn around and locate the football, but I didn't think he interfered with the receiver either.
They're going to shrink the field to 100 yards like American football. The end zones will now be...
But in high school football, that's only a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul as it is in the NFL. So go ahead with your question, my friend.
Yeah, so just in terms of, building a culture and everything at Crooksville here, it was an 8-0 game. They had the ball on the 2-yard line, and we see Coach Pardon electing for the field goal there.
Yep.
Does the team, you feel, think, gosh, we could have had more points on the board? Do you think that sort of weighs on them a little mentally?
It really could. A head coach and players often think very, very differently.
And this one's thrown up for any Philo defender. Wrapped. There wasn't a single ceramic in sight as that ball fell to the turf.
Yeah, two different electrics had a chance at this one, and they kind of ran into each other. But yeah, I think, to answer your question, I think if they would have went for it and plunged it in, could that have changed the mentality for this whole game? You just never know.
And you see it all the time in, college programs in the NFL. Just the coach being like, hey, let's go get it. I believe in you guys, let's get it.
Yep.
And, in that situation, if you do punch that in, maybe we're looking at a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
So now it'll be a quarterback draw on 2nd and 10. Hill is wrestled down.
See who was in there on that stop. Looks like Big Cam Stoner was one of them.
For Crooksville, there's 9:40 to go in the game.
So now Hill is in the face of the official, and that'll go. That's his second unsportsmanlike penalty of the ball game, as he is losing his cool.
He
just got ejected.
He has a lot of talent, but one thing he's known for is not being able to keep his emotions in check. And now we're going to get to see Cottrell for the remaining 9 minutes of this football game. And even though he's uber talented and brings a lot to the field, if you're Coach Pardon, you got to have a serious discussion with your quarterback and find out how much he really wants to be a part of this football team, because one bad egg and one bad apple can spoil it for the whole bushel. We've seen it over and over and over again throughout the years.
Yeah,
and he's trying to create a culture and some consistency here in this program, and that's taken a step back, in my opinion.
That's a third-year quarterback, third-year starting quarterback, upperclassman, and the quarterback's supposed to be the leader of your football team.
Your team's going to follow the quarterback.
So now we'll see Cottrell in a 3rd and forever as Hill works his way to the locker room. Cottrell takes the snap, fires deep. Pass is incomplete. That was pass interference. Did not get his head around, as that was Grant Carpenter.
It'll be a second 15-yard penalty in the last 3 plays. So Crooksville's going to get 30 free yards out of these PI calls against the Electrics defenders. That one was clear cut right there. You're going to get another look right here as he is tied up. He didn't really get a good look, but he was tied up face to face with the receiver and did not turn around to even locate the football.
It's an automatic first down.
There's no ball out there on the field. 7:25 to go late in the game. Clock moving, the running clock moves in effect. 36.
Well, now it looks like they picked up. There we go. Now they're going to walk it. I was wondering what was going on.
Big time yardage show. The defensive pass interference ball's going to be moved all the way to the final 37.
And for as long as I've been watching football, I still never understand why they have to step that off. When you know where the line of scrimmage was, you know how many yards the penalty distance is.
Maybe they don't trust their math skills. No calculator on the field. That's thrown and caught in there. That'll be good enough for a first down, as we will call the name of Joseph Pitcock for the first time.
And we're getting a look at Cottrell. He's a little bigger in size than Hill and probably less likely to run with the football. But they mounted 2 touchdown drives late a week ago with Cottrell under center, a game in which they were outplayed for 3.5 quarters and nearly came back and won it.
Cottrell feeling pressure, loads it up, and it's out of bounds. Smart throw.
Yeah, they were behind 21-3, I think, to Morgan, and they mounted 2 late scores in the fourth quarter, did Crooksville, to lose by only 3, 21-18.
Very winnable games for this game. You are going to need if you want to make the playoffs.
So this running clock continuing to tick, Dylan. Under 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, and I was wondering, with the running clock, when they walked the ball all the way, the officials took another minute off the clock just by, a touchdown stops the running clock.
Yep, the clock continues to run.
So Cottrell fires, tipped in the air, and it is picked. Third interception of the ball game for the Electric defense. 2 of them were on deflections.
Caden Loy, example, that's for sure.
And there's a botched snap. And the Ceramics recover inside the 5, so maybe it's time to hold your horses a little bit.
And Coach Linscomb put his backups in. You can see none of the regulars out there, and discombobulation at its finest. Audie Buchanan unable to corral that shotgun snap, and Crooksville is in business inside the 10. And if they can punch one in here, it will at least stop the running clock momentarily.
Right.
If they can get this lead back under 30.
And this will be a give to Potter. Potter spins off a tackle and dives forward. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. So the first score of the ball game goes to Potter. And that'll stop the running clock. And the Ceramics still showing some fight late in this ball game.
Better late than never, but the outcome of this game has been decided already. Ceramics just too much ground to make up, too little time to do it. Nevertheless, they get in the end zone. This loss is going to move Crooksville to 4-2, but you look down the road at their schedule, they got a couple more games they probably feel like they can win. Definitely the game against Coshocton 2 weeks from now down in Crooksville. I'm sure they have their eye on that one as well as some other matchups. And I think if this Crooksville team would finish 6-4, that would be a huge win, a huge success on the season. If they could finish with a winning mark, I think that should be goal number 1 for Coach Pardon, and I'm sure he has something similar in mind as far as win-loss totals, but he's far less worried about wins and losses.
Yeah.
He's trying to build some consistency here within this program.
Well, it appears Cottrell will have his time to shine, the sophomore quarterback. Under OHSAA rules, they will not have Brayson Hill for 2 games.
Wow.
It'll be a suspension after the getting ejected into a ball game. So
that means in 2 weeks when we travel down to cover the Coshocton-Crooksville game, we're going to see Cottrell.
Yeah.
Cottrell, if that's true, Hill will be suspended the next 2 games. It'll be week 7 and week 8.
You can appeal, but
next Friday, we'll be back here for a dandy of a game. The Sheridan Generals come to town. You won't want to miss that one, folks, as that one has the makings for an instant classic.
It does, and that game can be seen right here on South 60 Film. South 60 Films. I'll say it right. The official streaming service of high school football. And this one is kicked to about the 25, and it will be taken on a knee. So we mentioned the running clock is stopped, 3:45 to go.
Now we see some of the fans, both home and away, starting to make their way to the exits. This one's all but final right now, 36-10, all Electrics. Philo's going to get a homecoming win, and they're going to push Crooksville down to 4-2. Philo's going to move up to 5-1, so the Electrics are going to have the best overall record in the big school division.
I'm very curious to see next week's match.
Yeah,
I mean, that's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Sure will. Sheridan always brings it.
Buchanan chucks it left, and Harper about the 20. That is Griffin Harper. He had a nice punt return earlier in the ball game.
Coach Linscomb just wants to keep this ball on the ground, keep this clock moving, and head home with a homecoming victory.
5-1. Get ready for the gauntlet that awaits. This goes again to Harper. Sort of a slow motion run there as the flag is down.
See the scores across the bottom of your ticker. Shocking score in Byesville. If that's right, Meadowbrook 41, John Glenn 7. That's maybe the most shocking score of the night, if that's correct.
Usually have to sift through the box scores and determine who it's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty easy this week to figure out who it is.
Meadowbrook been riding the struggle bus this year. Crooksville was able to defeat them 39-33 a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So now 2nd and 14 after the penalty. Under 3 minutes to go.
Just a little bit. 2nd down and 14 after the hold on the Electrics. Buchanan has a high snap. He bobbles it. Turns the hand
And
off.
Buchanan nowhere to go. And he's brought down.
That's going to turn 2nd and long into 3rd and longer. 2nd and 14. He's lost another 6-7 yards on that sack. So 3rd and 21 coming up for the Electrics. Just the backups in here trying to complete this game, finish it off for the Electrics.
Yeah, that Meadowbrook game, it was 20-0 Meadowbrook just leading up to halftime. Then John Glenn punched in a touchdown to make it 20-7. But it's been all Byesville after that. Meadowbrook 41-7.
That is shocking.
And a timeout taken by Coach Lincecum.
No surprise, the New Lexington Panthers 41-0 up on the Coshocton Redskins. The Perry County Panthers continue to flex their muscle. They are eyeing a 10-0 season. That's on their mind right now. A lot of tough games remain for New Lexington, but
yeah. I mean, they are every week. I'm blown away.
They are. They possess a tandem of running backs in Paul Stinson and Colton Mathias that really are a great 1-2 punch. And then when you add Lane Ratliff into the mix as a runner, I know Isaiah Stevens was great, but Lane Stevens just brings another dimension to your backfield because he's as strong as a runner as your running backs.
Yeah.
He's very strong, and he seeks out contact. See, I'll be very, very curious to see how their season shakes out. They did move from 19 to 14 in the AP poll in 1 week, but I still feel like they're not getting enough love from the Associated Press, considering they're first in their region by a long shot in terms of computer points. So the computers like them. The Associated Press writers don't seem to.
That's the only loss on the Philo schedule to this point. New Lexington with a win there. And a great punt. Rather, it checked up. It looked like it had good distance, but it went out of bounds. Now the Crooksville fans have found the exits. Trying to get a nice head start on traffic.
Shouldn't she know? Isn't she dialed in to every game of the week?
I think she would be. And she watches that game.
So in the waning moments here, 1:03 to play.
Yeah, but so anyway, she's got she knows how I am. She's got a super
We just took to 1:04 to go in the ball game.
Cottrell taking the snap. Loading one up for the end zone. He's got a man and jumped the route. Intercepted at the 1. And that will do things here. There's a couple run plays and you can ride home.
Yeah, they are clear down inside the 1, so they're going to need to make sure they handle this snap properly and don't get caught for a safety here. But yeah, 2 snaps and this football game is over.
pretty interesting ball game, partner. Like, first half, you can really sit back and think, you know, it could go either way at halftime. Even at halftime, you know, it was a 12-point lead. You think you get a stop, you can come out, score again, and sort of, you know, it could have flipped a different way. But
it was a back-breaking score to end the first half, but then Philo received the third quarter kick.
Yep.
And they obviously had a handful of scripted plays to lead off that third quarter, and they bang, 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 3 plays right down the field, touchdown.
The snap goes through the end zone. So 2 more points.
In tonight's game, that was the 3rd QB of the night there for the Electrics. That was not Buchanan. It was a new one.
So
the ball went right through his hands.
This is a showing of
and
how
rolled out the back of the end zone. That was number 9, Adam Philo, who just had the interception.
So that was right over the hands of another quarterback for the Electrics. It was Adam Phillip. First varsity action at the quarterback position, if I'm not mistaken. So 53 seconds left. I think Cottrell's still going to go for the end zone. He's loaded up probably 4 deep balls since we've seen the ejection of Brayson Hill. He has tried to connect deep.
Is anyone still out there in the listening audience? You've enjoyed the final few minutes of this one, and hopefully you'll stick around for the Domino's Pizza post-game report where we will get your final scores from other games after the game and see if Jeff can go down on the field.
I don't know what the delay is now. We should have just a free kick coming from the Electrics after the safety. A long stoppage in play here with just 53 seconds remaining. I wonder if Crooksville actually took a timeout here, trying to set something up. So this will be a free kick from the 20-yard line for the Electrics. Most of the time they elect to drop kick the ball, but you can kick it off a tee as well. It's either way. It looks like they're going to tee it up here. Most of the time after a safety, you see the drop kick variety, punting style, and deployed.
Ceramic quarterback Brayson Hill ejected from the game. He had gotten 2 personal fouls. He got kicked out of the game, so he will not be available for the next 2 games with the shot kick and with Lexington.
So a knee will be taken at the 35.
So we talked about our game next week back here for the Crooksville Ceramics. New Lexington looms a week from tonight.
Especially without your starting quarterback.
Yes, so you know they were riding high the first 4 weeks of the season, but MVL play has humbled them.
Yeah.
Our game. Yep, our game.
My senior year, everyone wants to schedule a win in a homecoming game.
So
I think we have about 8 of our 10 games.
yeah.
Pretty nice homecoming here for the Electrics.
53 seconds to go in the game. And
We're nearing that season where every game that we go to, we're going to see.
Well, we're back here next
ceremony.
week, so we know.
Oh, yeah, that's under and about 4 yards there. That was the difference. We saw 2 personal fouls from Brayson Hill. The first one was a scuffle. He's pushing a defender, and that's what drew it. The second one was a personal right at the official because he thought he was grabbed and he was in his face and he was there for at least 5 seconds, face to face with the official with his hands in the air.
I think intentional contact with an official is automatic ejection as far as I'm concerned.
So maybe he did, touch the official by accident or whatever happened in that altercation, but it was the back judge that threw the flag. So not even the official that was getting it in front of his face. The one from the back says, "You're out of here."
Yeah.
So, one was an attack at an official, another was at a defender. So, 2 defenders. So, 2 times you could see the exit. 14 seconds remain, 4th down. It'll be a turnover on downs or a first down here. Pressure in the face, and Cottrell is brought down. Coach Lincecum, fists in the air.
Remington Millstead, sophomore.
So we will now have a kneel down.
Remington Millstead, the sophomore, is the one who pursued and brought down the quarterback. 5 seconds remain. It'll be one knee, and this game will be in the books.
I just want to say,
maybe they're going to have to grind out a victory here tonight at Sam Hatfield Stadium, the Bay of really dominating. How about this? They've had problems at quarterback since they've gone to the JVers, so Jack Lincecum is back in there to take the
We see Jack Lincecum back in the ball game. A shotgun, you see that in high school. Not a lot under the center. It's just a shotgun kneel down. And a victory for the Electrics. 5-1 start through 6 weeks. I think Coach Lincecum would sign up for that.
Heck yeah, he deserves a lot of credit. There's a lot of unanswered questions coming into this season, but this Electrics team is the real deal.
They got a clash with John Glenn next week. We will have that for you.
Sheridan,
Sheridan, the Generals. We will have that game for you right here on South 60 Films. But for this one, 36-12, the final score, Philo over Crooksville. We'll be back with a wrap of the final wrap-up here with the post-game show. We'll step aside. You're watching high school football right here on South 60 Films. Welcome into the broadcast booth. Ted Snyder alongside Dylan Kearns. Ted, this ball game that we saw here tonight, with the Electrics and Ceramics, just in general, it was a tale of two halves.
Yes.
The first half, Crooksville well into the ball game, and then Philo scored right before half and took that momentum into the second half.
Yeah, the Electrics imposed their will in the third and fourth quarters, but this was a true battle in the first half. It was decided late in the second quarter when Philo was able to extend their lead and receive the third quarter kickoff.
We saw Jack Lincecum find him pay dirt early in this ball game, and then he did it with his arm. Finding his receiver for the touchdown, that was Carter Crabtree. And then hard running from Lincecum again, by air and by ground for him today. And Bryson Hill kept his eyes downfield. Now that one was cut. Here we go. There's Potter finding his way into the end zone. He ran hard today throughout the course of the ball game. And then we saw the deep ball that was intercepted, making a play there down by the goal line. And then a snap into the hands of the freshman quarterback and onto through the end zone, and that was it right there for the safety that happened. So just in the highlights alone, you saw a little bit of everything.
Yep.
The ball through the back of the end zone, a couple of misplays. What didn't get brought up really throughout the course of the game was the personal fouls on both sides. I think that's something both teams wish they can clean up. What do you see, like, in terms of, big game next week for both teams, really?
Yeah.
You got New Lex if you're Crooksville.
Yeah.
On the Philo side, you got Sheridan. if you're Philo, realizing that you got a big matchup with a team like Sheridan that's very well disciplined and well coached, how do you fix those issues?
You certainly can't afford to give Sheridan Generals free 15 yards in succession a week from now. So it's definitely something to talk about and discuss in the locker room if you're Coach Lincecum, but I thought the Electrics played an outstanding game on both sides of the ball, really imposed their will in the trenches. That's where the game was won. Their physicality won out in the second half, and
6-12, the Electrics taking care of business over their rival in the 86th meeting between Crooksville and Philo. But that'll do it here from Sam Hatfield Stadium. For Ted Snyder, Dylan